The forest had always stood at the edge of the village like a shadow, a place people glanced at but never dared to enter after dark. In the daytime, sunlight trickled through the trees and birds sang above, but by evening it was different. The air felt heavier, the silence sharper, and it was said that the forest began to speak. Arjun had grown up hearing the warnings. Children were told never to go too far, never to listen if their names were called. But he was not a child anymore, and he didn't believe in old stories. He was restless, searching for something to break the monotony of his days, and that restlessness drew him to the trees one dusky evening when the last light of the sun painted the sky. With a lantern in his hand, he stepped onto the narrow path. At first, it was quiet, only the crunch of dry leaves beneath his feet. Then came a sound, faint and uncertain, his name. He stopped, his heart lurching against his ribs. It must have been the wind, he told himself, nothing more. But the sound came again, clearer this time, like someone calling from just ahead. The voice was strange, unfamiliar yet heavy with emotion. It wasn't harsh. It carried sadness, as though it needed him, as though it knew him. Against every instinct, Arjun followed. His lantern swung, throwing unsteady light against the bark of trees that seemed to bend closer with every step. The deeper he went, the colder the air became, and the forest seemed to breathe with him. When the trail opened into a small clearing, he saw it. An ancient tree stood alone, its bark twisted and scarred, its roots breaking through the soil like veins. On its trunk were names, hundreds of them, carved deep into the wood. He stepped closer, and his breath caught. His own name was there, freshly etched as if written only moments before. The whispers rose around him, no longer one voice but many, layering over one another, soft and urgent. He recognized some of the names they called people from his village who had disappeared without explanation. Their voices reached out, full of longing and despair, and he realized with dread that they were trapped here. Panic surged through him. He turned to run, but the path he had taken was gone. All he could see were endless trees, shadows that shifted when he blinked. The voices didn't stop. They pressed into him, close, circling, until he couldn't tell if the name being called was his or if the whisper had grown from his own throat. By dawn, the village found his lantern lying at the forest's edge, still glowing weakly. Arjun was never seen again. And from that day forward, when the evening wind stirred the branches, the villagers swore they could hear a new voice among the whispers. It was his, calling out, waiting for someone else to follow.